So I've got a Kelly, a nice beautiful Jackson Kelly here, and what I'm going to do, first things first, is I'm going to change the strings, check the neck, etc., etc. So first thing I'm going to do, while there's still tension on the neck, is I'm going to take this notched straight bar, and I'm going to check to make sure that the board is level with the tension from the old strings. Okay, so now looking underneath, looks like I could come back a little bit. So I'm gonna undo the anchor nuts at the top of the R3 nut. Don't know what R3 nut is, and that's so I'm just gonna undo these. Now some guys don't do this, some do. I do. I put them in order, one over there, and then the middle one over here, and then the bottom one. So that way I know which way they go, because they do create indents in the bottom of those locking heads. So now I'm just gonna loosen off one string with the middle string so I can adjust the neck. Right? So let's do that. I gotta move that. I need this right here. Fucking Jackson always with their unique bullshit. Mine, I actually, usually it's 3 screws on a truss rod, which drives me nuts because then I can't adjust real quick if I'm doing a show or something. At least when it's 1 screw, I can easily just, you know, so 1 screw, then I can kick this stupid thing out. Now, so I need to go this way. Half turn at a time, that's it. I need to push the middle up. So now I'm just going to pop this in real quick and just do the tension back up on it.
That way. I can see properly if it is indeed
straight. So again, not straight bar. Now, when you're using a notched bar, notice how I have a really bright light back here. The reason not only is that just so I can see, but it's so I can see if there's any light shining underneath of my straight edge. And if you can see light in the middle, then obviously it needs to come up a bit. See, that looks a lot better. So now that my neck is straight, I'm just going to make sure no buzz, sorry, no fret buzz from the string anywhere. So now my neck is straight. So what I can do now is get a piece of foam. I have this foam, they usually come with pedals and stuff like that, and I just basically roll it up like a son of a bitch, right? Now usually over here on the guitar itself, I usually tape this off, right, with this tape right here, which is frog tape. And but this is my guitar, and I've been doing this a long time, so I fully trust myself not to use it on my own. On customers' guitars, yeah, absolutely 100% I tape everything off. So I pop this up with the Floyd, and I just stuff foam there. And as you can see, these are all slacking and loose, but it keeps the Floyd in proper positioning. As you can see, the Floyd is flush, sorry. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, now that these have less tension on them, I'm just going to cut them, okay? Now if you think you're going to break yourself on these, you can obviously pop this up to release any extra tension. Okay, as you can see, the Floyd is still, it's nice and flush with the body because of that foam. So now obviously what you're going to do is get rid of your strings. You know, over time you can pull them all off in one pull like I can. It's nice if you just learn how to properly wire them up when you change your strings. So I'm just going to throw those out now we do the back. So first things first, pop it up.
And undo the back. Just crack it loose. You know, like even when you tighten them, you don't need to over tighten them. Okay. Now they're all loose. I'm just gonna back them all off. There we go. Just enough to get the string out. Like, don't friggin' unscrew it all the way. Okay. Now when you're pulling these out, make sure you don't pull the little blocks out, because if you pull the little blocks out,
you ain't gonna be able to friggin' put a new one on. Lemon oil. Buy some. Long and McQuaid's. It's cheap. It's like $6 or something.
really bored. This one I'm just doing this to show you more so than anything because I oiled this a month ago already. I do all my guitars once a month. Most guys, actually all guys should anyways, when you're doing this, if I was going to level the frets, I would tape off the sides and I'd use this to start, and when you do it, you go one way, up, off, down, one way. And this is a like cool little, basically glued file on a piece of wood. You can get these at Stu Mac for $30 or something. I don't remember exactly how much I paid for it. But I don't need to level these frets. They're dead mint. This one's mine. Now, on for 5-10 minutes. But like I said, I've already oiled this one a month ago, so there's no reason for me to let this sit because it's freshly oiled already. Obviously, if this was a customer's guitar, like I said, it would be here. I'd go get coffee or something and say hi to the dogs and I'd go, right? So now you can get a microfiber cloth. Has to be microfiber. You get anything else, you wreck your fretboard. So this is what I use, and it goes in the wash once a week or whatever. And I just buy a new one every couple months. Now, what you want to do is you don't want to just like start rubbing. I usually will fold this into a few different things, so you get a nice flat surface like this. Then I'll cup it around like this, right? So I can get a nice push onto it, and I'll start by really driving my finger. I'll get the frets, everything, you know? Really just start going to town on your fretboard. Just screwdriver bouncing on a friggin' thing and then grab your fucking nuts. There we go. I'm gonna come the other way. Mine, but it's already made. So now that I've done that, I'm gonna unfold this, and now I'm gonna fold it up lengthwise into kind of like that. And the reason I do that is so I can basically do this. Right? Perfect. Now the board is it's perfect actually. Didn't need it, but whatever. Gonna do it anyways. So now, obviously, you do your final cleanup with your other cloth on the body. Make sure it's good and it's a cloth suited for the body itself, right? Clean all that up, blah, 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 blah. It's good to go. Now, on the bridge, okay? Looking over here. I'll move this a little closer.
There we go. So these screws right here, make sure they're all, you know, about halfway, okay? So I had a couple adjustments along the way, but make sure they're halfway. hand tight, right, and then in, and half a crank. That's all you need. Don't over tighten these. Now for my test, I just grab this and by one string each. And load all my strings back behind me, like that, except the one I'm about to tune. So now, trimming. This is the thing I was telling you earlier, okay? So to properly trim, go to the one you're going to use and then go to the next one and cut halfway between the next one and the one after. And you're good. Your length is... Now, without being in tune, all these are on the guitar, okay? So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these back in the order and I'm just going to put them on, but I ain't going to tighten them. Just kind of on, not tight. Put the truss cover rod back on. It's because I don't fucking want it on. It's pretty much that simple. Plus it looks meaner in my opinion. Actually, I think I have a drawer full of truss covers. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Well, let's add one more fucking truss cover to it. There you go. Fuck off, truss cover. Let's clean it up. If you're at normal playing position, so now lift the Floyd. And as you can see, the Floyd goes way back into the body because it's not tuned. Way the fuck in there. New pick. Now, this is what we do. Top one. Why is it an E at once? This particular guitar is sidestep the Crow guitar, so it's CGC F80. So I go first and second string, I tune. Right? Go back to the first. Tune. Third one. Back to the first one. Fourth one. Generally speaking, it's somewhat in tune. Ha, not at all. Back to the first one. this is where you're going to want to get Phillips screwdriver, and you're going to want to adjust it from the back. I always keep my plates off so I can adjust it, and one of these are in my guitar case. Every guitar case I own has its own Phillips screwdriver, okay? Okay, so now my Floyd is still sitting relatively far in my body. I need to get it flush, right? So I'm going to just keep tuning until it's somewhat flush, and then I'm going to use the back to tuning. I try to avoid touching the fine tuners while I'm tuning. That way, when it is locked, I have the ability to adjust it. It's come up about 1/8 of an inch. Really sharp. I'm actually going to loosen the top, just the top screw a little bit. Boom, season tune. So now the bottom ones are not in, so I'm actually going to tighten the bottom screw a little bit. I did about 3 turns on the bottom one, and that brought it into range. Now so the 3 high strings are slightly flat, and the reason I leave them slightly flat is because when you tighten these nut screws, it's actually going to push them down, making them a little more sharp into tune. I know it sounds nuts, but that's how it works. And making them slightly flat. So I'm just going to loosen off half turn on my low strings. I mean slightly flat. Now, it's in tune. The Floyd is flush with the body. Now, I'm going to flush with the body. Don't worry. That's when you can use your springs when these are still loosened. I guess I got to give them their quarter turn now. So tight, quarter turn. Tight. No more than that. Beautiful. This one could come up a little bit. This is where I use the fine tuners. Perfectly in tune Floyd, level with the body, no issues whatsoever.